Trump become instructed Pence couldn't overturn election but nevertheless forced him. Panel hears Washington. Former President Donald Trump forced his Vice President, Mike Pence, to overturn his 2020 election defeat in spite of being informed time and again Pence had no authority to accomplish that. Aides to Pence instructed the congressional committee investigating the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol on Thursday. Members of the Democratic House of Representatives PIC committee said Trump endured his stress campaign even though he knew a violent mob of his supporters was threatening the Capitol as Pence and lawmakers met to officially certify President Joe Biden's victory within the November 2020 election. The 9-member committee has used the first 3 of at least 6 public hearings anticipated this month to build a case that Trump's efforts to overturn his defeat amounted to illegal behavior, a long way past ordinary politics. Mike Pence said no. He resisted the pressure. He knew it changed into illegal. He knew it changed into incorrect, Democratic Representative Benny Thompson, the committee's chairperson, said. That courage positioned him in awesome chance. Trump has repeatedly denied wrongdoing, while repeating his fake accusations that he misplaced the election simplest because of enormous fraud that benefited the Democrat Biden. He and his supporters, which include many Republican individuals of Congress, brush aside the January 6 panel as a political witch hunt. Mark Short, who became Pence's chief of staff, stated in videotaped testimony that Pence told Trump, usually, that he did now not have the authority to forestall the vote certification in Congress because the Republican president sought. Gregory Jacob, Pence's recommend, stated the main proponent of that idea, outside attorney John Eastman, admitted in front of Trump days before the attack that his plan to have Pence halt the method could violate the regulation. Trump's accountability for the January 6 revolt is incidental to his obligation and responsibility for his attempt to thieve the 2020 presidential election from the American human beings, retired U.S. Appeals Court Judge J. Michael Luttig informed the committee. It is breathtaking that these arguments even have been conceived, not to mention entertained with the aid of the President of the U.S. at that perilous moment in records, Luttig, who changed into an casual advisor to Pence, stated. The committee performed chilling video displaying a number of the Trump supporters within the crowds of heaps of folks who descended on the Capitol baying for Pence to be pulled out of the building, or hanged. Courage, committee members said Trump's remarks towards Pence fueled their anger. You'll also pay attention that the president knew there has been a violent mob on the Capitol when he tweeted at 2:24 p.m. that the vice president did no longer have the quote, courage, to do what needed to be finished, stated Democratic Representative Pete Aguilar, a committee leading questioning of the witnesses. The certification on January 6 had emerged as a focus for Trump, who saw it as a last-ditch danger to hold the presidency no matter his loss on the polls. His supporters flocked to Washington to rally with the Republican president, who had made repeated fake claims that the election was stolen via widespread voting fraud. They stormed the Capitol, attacked police and sent Pence and lawmakers fleeing for his or her safety. Pence did no longer comply with Trump's instructions to scrap the certification of votes. The hearing additionally tested the emergence of a plan advocated via Trump pals, which includes attorney John Eastman, that Pence could unilaterally reject licensed electors from positive states wherein effects were challenged. Pence refused to just accept that idea. Separately, Representative Benny Thompson, the committee's Democratic chairperson, informed reporters on Thursday that the committee must ask Virginia Ginny Thomas, spouse of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, to testify. Thomas's involvement in conservative politics and mentioned ties to humans concerned with Trump's task to the election final results have raised questions about whether or not her husband must recuse himself from Supreme Court selections related to such subjects. Pence stated in February that Trump, underneath whom he served as VP for 4 years, turned into wrong to agree with that Pence had the strength to opposite the election's final results. I had no proper to overturn the election, Pence advised an audience in Florida. The committee performed a video of him pronouncing so at some point of its first public listening to on Thursday night time. The assault on the Capitol behind schedule certification of the election for hours, injured extra than 140 law enforcement officials and caused numerous deaths.